for us, Cortex is already supporting gRPC compression on our side. So if you are using gRPC, gRPC itself has a feature to enable compression. You can actually give it which compression algorithm to use, like Snappy, ZZip or something, and gRPC itself does it for you.
The Cortex used the Google Managed Prometheus, right, in backend?
No. Google Managed Prometheus is something that Google metrics are like for Google components that you have. You can push the metrics to the Google Managed Prometheus and you can extract it back. So that is kind of Cortex is a separate parallel thing and Google Managed Prometheus is a parallel thing. We just have a similar single interface where we can have both of them. Google Managed Prometheus is Google's own Prometheus for their own components. Just we needed one single UI where we can have a dashboard which can get the metrics coming from Cortex as well as coming from Google, so that at time of incidents, user doesn't have to go switch between multiple tabs and multiple dashboards. They can access everything at a single place.
For Cortex, where you store the data? Because there are
we store the data in GCP only as buckets.
As buckets, right? Cortex is an open source tool, right?
Yes.
Yep.
The vWorks have it, right?
Cool story about cost optimization. So I just have one more question regarding the monitoring stack that you mentioned, the incident response. You mentioned that you are using, or in the slides you had this component where you said PagerDuty. I just have a recommendation. Instead of PagerDuty, if you can use ZenDuty, that would scale your costs more than 10 to 15%. So
yeah,
any thoughts about that?
I mean, we can do that, but right now all of the teams have already are already using PagerDuty, and now migrating to a new system is a very difficult task. We know how migration works, right? Yeah, but yeah, we will look into it actually if it's really saving costs.
So actually, we were also using PagerDuty earlier, and cost was a significant challenge for us, and we migrated to ZenDuty, and so far it's going good.
Yeah, we will look into it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Can you explain a little bit about the SLI, SLO? There is a matrix there, right?
Yeah.
Because if you run 1,500 services, each services have a separate SLI and SLO, or a bunch of services have SLI and SLO, because it is crucial. This SLI and SLO, right?
Yes.
You have 1,500 services, you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Each services have a separate SLI and SLO. If you consider, there are two types of services. For if you have an API, API related microservices, you have SLO and SLI. Okay. If you consume PubSub, it's an event driven service, right? How you take the SLI and SLO?
We support
for event driven services.
We support SLI over APIs. So for monitoring your API's performance, our SLI SLO platform is built. So let's say you have a GET request or a POST request, and how is that performing, how many requests you have got. So basically we are serving, our purpose to serve that corner of that services, not others.
You are using Istio service mesh or Anta service mesh in your platform because you have 1,500 services plus 60 plus nodes and everything, right? Because we are a SaaS company, we are running software like you. That's why I asked this question. Okay,
we haven't given thought about supporting that part. Right now, we are mostly having we are serving the kind of request that is majority of them. That how we can track the APIs mostly, and how our APIs are performing, and what are the good requests versus bad requests coming from that application, that service. Mostly around that only.